Well, hey YouTubers. It's been a while since I've shot anything. Actually, I did shoot the video previously that I'm going to show you now, but I deleted it because I didn't like it, and I got the numbers all off. So anyways, I'm doing it again, different food. I'm going to show you kind of a quick setup, quick-ish video of my what I do for freeze drying my food. I have a Harvest Right freeze dryer at home. You certainly don't have to do this. You can do dehydrated. We bought the freeze dryer for other things. It was naturally, a compliment that I would, start freeze drying hiking food, right? I mean, duh. We use it for our vegetables and all of the herbs and everything. Let's do it for food. You can't freeze dry everything, and I'm not going to go into every thing about freeze drying because there's 1,001 videos out there about freeze drying that are much better than what I can put out there. So go look those up. But this is just kind of my setup, and I'll explain really quickly why I do it. So the whole point of freeze drying the food is that you save weight, helps you with your joints because I'm a little bit older, and it helps you get farther easier, I should say that. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mount it on my chest here, and hopefully it picks up. I'm gonna just show you a bit of my setup because it's freeze drying right now. Take it out and go through some of the process. I've got some of it already cut up already, so like the bags and blah 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 blah, so that way I can just really help expedite this and kind of cut down on time. You're gonna see some of the house. So in there's the freeze dryer. Obviously it's a little bit loud. We have it in the house. You don't have to do that, we just do that. Most people put it in the garage, but hopefully the audio is not terrible. I'm gonna go take it out, and here we go. So I usually have extra dry time on there, and yeah. So let's say, okay, process complete. And these do come out hot or warm. Show you nice and dry. Go. All right, so each of these were legitimately 2 pounds a piece. Two net weight. You don't have to do this, but I have my little gun here. Make sure the thing's coming out. Look pretty good. And we don't have cold spots because that'll mean that we didn't get it all. Okay. So now what I'll do is I got my weight scale here. I'll put all this into the bowl. It'll crinkle up real nice and well, and I'll just get the net weight of the food. So we went from a legitimate 8 pounds of white chicken chili to, we'll see what we get. Okay, and I use gloves so that way it won't get my hands dirty and I don't get oils on the glove. Okay, here we go. See, this stuff just comes right up. That's perfect, that's what you want. And it's just actually a little crumbly sometimes, like a little too crumbly. So there's different ways to break this up, and there's some things that I just didn't use on this one that you can, like some dividers. I have those, but you get the picture. I'm gonna need a bigger bowl because I was only able to get 2 of those trays into this bowl. That was legitimately 4 pounds wet weight, and now we're down to 1.09 pounds. So we went from 32 ounces to 17.5 for 4 pounds. Damn. So that's about right. What? Almost, not quite, but almost 3 pounds of water weight taken out. Second round. 1.08. Where did I miss it? 32 to 17.4. Looks like, yep. So just over 2 pounds of freeze dried, going from 8. I'll do the math a little bit better here. So this is what I used to vacuum seal. This is what I put it in, and then I'll dump it in this if I can. Like I'll freeze dry this, or I'm sorry, I'll vacuum seal this, dump it in here if I can. If not, that's fine, no biggie. I'll just transfer a time of the hike. I already ran out of this, so I got to order a new one. This is just some cheap ass Chinese stuff off of Amazon. Always make sure to have your oxygen absorbers, but yeah, it's all pre-cut, it's all ready to go. I've got my gloves on, so I'm gonna go ahead and package it up and wrap it up here pretty quick. Those of you interested in what's the recipe, this is the recipe that I took from the cookbook. I added some extra chicken breasts, so like where there's 2, I have 3. Had some extra corn, and I kind of stuck mostly to this, but whatever, yeah. And this is the cookbook. So this is what 11.6 freeze-dried ounces looks like. It's about 7-8 inches in height here. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the vacuum seal really well with this one per se, because I don't have a lot of headspace here. But anyway, 11.6 ounces is 3 servings, which is what I'm shooting for. So that's a big ass meal actually, but it'll be great on trail. So yeah, we'll get through this. All right, well, this is what it looks like packaged. So I packaged it inverted. I'm using the big boys. These are heat sealable, and they have the you know, reusable seal. Obviously not airtight. And then this is what I use for the. I just got off Amazon. You know, nothing special. But yeah, so what we'll do, we have this all set up. And yeah, it should be good. I'll probably just like seal these, not seal them, but like, you know, whatever, and then put them in my pantry. It occurred to me, I need a level set. This is all the drum. I took all this crap off. Next to the cat crap. There is the rest of the paneling. The reason I did this is because I went ahead and did the Felix fix. You'll see some extra tape on here. You're probably gonna get a vacuum pump error if you have one of these. Hovers Right is notorious for this. I think there's even a class action lawsuit against them. But just so you know, that's why, like, this should all be covered. The whole thing should be covered. But I did the Felix fix. I went through and did this. The whole thing that she suggests. I even really got into it. But that's why you see all this. Like, I sprayed it with Flex Seal, did all kinds of shit to get this thing fixed, because it was annoying as all get out. But that, just wanted to explain, like, that's why you see what you see. Well, each one of those is labeled now. We got that done. Put away. That's kind of how I do it. It's a lot of work, I think. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie, but it does save you all of that weight. It was from 8 pounds to 2.18 from wet to dry, or wet to freeze dried. That's 5.82, roughly, pounds of water weight savings. And yes, as I was packaging those up, I was like, that's a hell of a lot of food for one serving. That's not gonna happen. I'm definitely going to take those out and break them up into 2 or maybe even 3 servings, because that's a lot of food. That was an entire crock pot of food. Actually, that's not true. I have like 1 extra, like, little serving that I had reserved aside just to make sure it tasted good. And it tasted pretty damn good. So anyway, there you go. That's kind of what I do and how I do it. Like I said, for freeze drying, there's a lot of freeze drying videos out there. Go look it up. If you can afford it, yeah, that's the one thing. It is expensive. It is not cheap at all, but it was a gift to ourselves. And I just said, hell, let's just start making some freeze-dried hiking food. I've got mountain houses, and I do side-by-sides once in a while. I'll probably do some more. Obviously, I'm going to like mine a bit more. But in any event, guys, Hope you found this a little bit helpful. Some of the work I cut out a lot that, you know, prep work and cleanup work. Just so you know, if you're looking at doing this and going through this, there's a lot of stuff, and you can't just necessarily buy a freeze dryer and then say, oh, here we go. There's like Mylar bags, there's the weighing, there's some of the other metrics, there's some associated costs with this. So it does add up. You don't have to do some of the things, but other things you really, really, really want to do, like oxygen absorbers, you're going to really want that. And that's just if you keep doing this more often, like you're going to have an associated cost with that, right? So anyway, have a great one. Take care. See you next time. If there is a next time. Thanks, Andrew.